All right, ladies, this is one of my evil videos. It's about how to hypnotize your man into falling in love with you. This is during the pandemic, so don't judge me. But seriously, it's not evil. I'm gonna give you guys my take based on what I say in that video. And don't forget, we have paradoxically, we're having a meditation meetup in New York City every Sunday, usually every Sunday. Click on the description down below. This week we're having it to purchase the tickets. Next week we're doing a meditation walk for real because it's actually warm outside. And don't forget, if you want to work with me one-on-one, click on the description down below and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. A lot of you guys are watching these videos and are not subscribed. All right, do that or I'm closing the channel. Let's begin this.
Like a bow.
You see, what we want to be able to do is change his inner voice and exchange it with your inner voice. It's change his inner image wherein he cannot see himself without you being in the picture, without you being in the picture. Now that is a very intense process, but generally that's the goal. And the way to do that is to give him the illusion of competition. Make him feel that there are other men threatening to take you.
This is pretty much like the principle of when you go to a club and when you see a lot of people waiting in line, you naturally assume that this place is more alluring as opposed to a club that's empty. It could be same types of drinks, and it could be the same way that it looks, but if they see more people wanting it, the illusion, the reality becomes enhanced, right? And it's the same thing. You could be really attractive, but simply because he has the knowledge that other men want you, all of a sudden, whatever you are becomes enhanced superficially.
Make him feel the presence of other men, because by simply doing that, this will raise your value and make yourself more alluring. The first step is very simple. You first want to make him feel like he has a chance with you, right? You first want to get his attention first, right? And the way you do that is by giving him a few looks here and there. Let's say you guys are in class together, right? You give him a look. Or let's say you guys are on social media. You give him a like. Very simple stuff. All we're doing is that we want to let him know, I like you. Why? We're not going to make the first move, though. We're not going to make the first move because what we want him to do is to make the first move. Under no circumstance, ladies and gentlemen, are you going to make the first move? Are these guys going to jump me right now? This is Harlem people. Under no circumstance are you going to make the first move. Because as soon as you make the first move, you reveal your cards and you literally destroy any anxieties that you could have triggered. Because guys know this, women show interest, but they easily lose interest the next day. So even though you're showing interest, every single guy deep down is going to assume you're going to lose interest eventually.
And unfortunately, one of the best ways to get people emotionally is to play on people's fears and people's desire. And every guy and every person also genuinely is afraid that someone whom they seem or view as valuable is going to pull away. So you sort of can easily gauge how much they value you by applying this, and whatever fear they have of losing you is pretty much an indication of how much they value you, because the fear of loss is indicative to how valuable we feel that thing is. If you have no fear of losing something, it just means you don't value it that much.
Because it's happened in the past. It's okay if you show a guy interest. It's okay if you, with your actions, show him that you like him simply to get him to chase. You do not verbalize that you like him. You can tell other people, but you do not directly tell him that you like him. If you're in a relationship with him, it's okay, right? You could show him the love that you have. You could keep showing him interest. You could massage him. You could do everything, you know? What's up? Interrupting me. And that's how it is, right? You first want to make him feel like he likes you, right? After you get his interest, you want him to chase after you, right? And so for at least a month or so, you're going to create a pattern. When I mean a pattern, I mean this. You're going to get him used to a way of behaving. You're going to text him often. You're going to literally make him think that, oh, wow, this girl likes me. And the reason why is this. We're testing whether or not you and him are compatibly in love, right? Because if he cannot handle the fact that you're texting him at a decent time, you're texting him fast, you're liking all of his photos. The reason why you want to do that is because you want him to have a false sense of security. You want him to feel like, man, I got this bitch in my hand. That's what guys think, people, okay? So don't get offended. He's gonna think, man, I have this girl in my, bye client, bye. You want him to feel like he has you. Because sometimes when we do that, it's almost like when our parents are alive, we take them for granted. But because we're taking them for granted, when they die, it hurts extra because we took them for granted. You see what I'm saying? As long as he initiated the contacting, the number, the calling, like all that sort of stuff, then you could take it a step further and say, and call them and text them and say, hey, you're pretty good at that. You know, like, be a sweet person. Be nice. Show him that you like him. So that then you could just switch up that pattern and show him the other side of your personality. Because what we want to do is to make him feel like he has you here, and then from one day to the other, it goes down here. Humans do not like that kind of change. That kind of change replicates nature. Where nature strikes, everything changes in an instant. It's not like people where it changes gradually. This it is instantaneous kind of change. So by doing that, this shakes him off his boots, and it makes him more susceptible to your control.
Jesus Christ, that sounds evil.
Right, and now we're gonna be talking about breaking the pattern.
Now, one of the most important factors in all of this is you gotta put them in a sexually competitive state. And I made a lot of videos about this, but a quick summary is all about just mentioning other guys in your life. When you like the guy, you like to let him know that he is all yours, that he has nothing to worry about, that he has you completely. But that has a paradoxical effect. It makes him calm. It makes him complacent. It makes him take advantage of you in the sense that he doesn't really appreciate you. So what you want to do is make him feel like he's the one that pulled you away from the other guys. So just talk about how you have a personal trainer. Talk about how you take salsa classes. Talk about how one of your best friends is a guy. Talk about your celebrity crush that looks the complete opposite of how he looks. What you want to do is get other men in his head. Like, make him feel like you have more guy friends than female friends. Make him feel like you get along with men more than women. And why? Because it raises your value naturally. In the midst of you making him confident, in the midst of you making him feel like he has you, in the midst of him feeling like you're the one that's chasing, you're lowering his guard. But when you mention other guys in your life, when you mention that you study with one of your male friends, it is an insecure part of them that's starting to slowly arise, and that you will trigger when you break this pattern. Okay, so we created the pattern. We got him to feel like he has you. We got him to feel like he has some control over you because you're showing interest, you're texting, you're responding fast, you're liking his photos, you're doing everything that says the guy that you like. I promise you, he's taking you for granted right now. This is when the fun begins. Corona. You're gonna stop all that. Now, prior to stopping all of it, you're gonna let him know that you're busy. You're gonna let him know that you got shit to do. You're gonna let him know, hey baby, this week, I'm gonna be busy with work and all that sort of stuff. Or better yet, don't even tell him. Tell him once he begins to ask you why you suddenly pulled away.
You see, life is fun, but the reason why life is fun is because sometimes life is frustrating. And whenever you don't inflict any frustration, any negative emotion, if you're never the cause of any negative emotion in a man's life, they're never going to really appreciate your full range. Why? Because you also feel negative emotions sometimes around your lovers. The issue is that you try your best to hide that frustration because you feel through the lenses and prism of insecurity that showing your fangs, showing or even causing the person to feel negative emotion causes them to pull away and pushes you, and they push you away. When in reality, they will value you more if they experience a negative conflict with you or something that's like a conflict that will always strengthen the bond because you recovering from that conflict brings you guys closer towards each other.
And the reason why he's gonna tell you is because usually guys value when you like their photos. Guys value when you follow them on Instagram. Guys value when you consistently comment on their photos. Only they start valuing it once you take it away, right? So you're just gonna take that all the way. You're gonna break the pattern. You're gonna break the pattern of your behavior. He thought he was gonna be able to predict you. Boy, you can't predict my ass. I'm unpredictable. I'm pulling away right now. So prior to completely pulling away, you wanna cancel on a date. Let's just say that you plan to pull away on Monday and it's Saturday. What you're gonna do is schedule a date on Monday, and on the day of, prior to that Monday, you're gonna stop liking the photos. You're gonna stop contacting him. You're gonna stop doing all the things you used to do. So that when the Monday comes, he's like, oh my God, this chick has been completely cold. What the fuck is gonna happen? And then on that Monday, you're gonna say, hey, I'm sorry, I won't be able to make it. And you're not gonna make up another date. You're just gonna say you won't be able to make it. Ladies and gentlemen, this has happened to me. This is completely devastating to a guy. This completely destroys a guy's confidence. And this has happened to you. But the key is set the pattern and then slowly know when you're gonna pull away, right? Set up a date for that date. And once you set up that date on that week of, slowly pull away. Stop contacting him, stop liking the photos. He's gonna notice because you'll notice he'll start posting more photos. You'll notice he'll start.
This is something that I recommend doing from time to time, not all the time. If you have to do it all the time, that just means this person does not love you. It's similar to somebody who goes to the hospital every now and then, versus somebody who's stuck in a machine and they have to continue living only through the machine. When you're at that point where the only way to keep this person's interest is through my strategies, this relationship is in the coma. Eventually, it's gonna die. Pull the plug. If he lives, he lives. If they die, they die. But the point is that you're not gonna be having this relationship on life support. That is toxic. That makes you insecure, and it creates negative habits of holding on to people who you should be letting go of.
Doing things to get your attention. And that's the second step. After this, you do this. So now you have him thinking of you. He is not sure what's gonna happen after this. And the reason why I say this is because we all know what's gonna happen. Naturally, we assume what's gonna happen. Why? Because it's happened to every one of us. This is the natural progression when relationships are about to die. You slowly distance yourself. And when you slowly distance yourself, you all of a sudden become a figment of a guy's imagination. He can't fully grasp you with his hands, so his mind will begin to try to relive those good moments, right? And when you do that, he begins to hypnotize himself. He begins to create little fantasies about you, how great the relationship was. He'll begin to convince himself of the great times that you had. But the key to this is that you gotta be willing to let him suffer a little bit. In fact, if you really wanna go deep, if you really wanna stab him in the heart and just move that knife around, you wanna break up with him. And now look, most people will not do this, but if you really wanna see how good this works, do it on a guy that you don't have that many emotions for, and watch what happens.
That's some evil shit, people. That's some evil shit, but it's true. That's the problem. Is that what I'm saying is true. The issue is that it's coming out of my mouth, and some people might watch those videos and assume that I'm a bad person. That's a problem, you know. It really is a problem sometimes.
Just as a test drive, so that when it comes down to the guy that you really like, he becomes fully in love with you. But this is the thing though, this is high risk, high reward. Some people will not deal with this. And that's why you gotta assess the kind of guy that you have. And if you think that he has low tolerance for this kind of bullshit, I would recommend you keep that distance for at least a week. I would recommend that you keep that distance for at least a week and you repeat the process from time to time. You repeat that process because that's what he wants you to do. He wants to desire you. He wants to feel like he has something that's unique and special. And this is how you give that to him. You just pull away, and that's how it's done. And then when you return to him, you'll notice something. His interest will have risen. He'll begin to see you with different eyes. He'll begin to just look at you like that. He'll want to do more to you. He'll want to take you out more. He'll want to call you more. He'll want to conversate with you more. But if you want to keep that control, don't validate him. If you want to keep that control the way you look at him. Don't look at him with those eyes. From time to time, like you want to give him that love, and then you want to take it away. You want to give him those looks, and then when you're away, you want to be completely indifferent. This is traumatizing. This is fucked up. This is playing with a man's emotions, but this is a warning.
As long as he is not a verbally abusive person, as long as he's not a physically violent person, you could do this and you could get away with this. Just make sure that you don't do this on people who are physically violent. Don't do that. It will backfire on you. You might get hurt.
All right, people, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, we have coaching bundle packages where you guys can order coaching calls at a bundle so that it saves you money. I think you can save 20% off. And we also have my courses on a bundle where you guys can purchase it at 20% off using the bundle. Anyways, we're having a meditation walk this weekend. Oh, not a meditation walk, a meditation meetup. Purchase the tickets in the description down below. It's in Brooklyn. I'm moving out of New York City in a few weeks, so this is going to be the last one, the few last ones. So attend before I leave, or I'm closing the channel. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button and like the video. Take care.
All right, so if you're a nice girl, if you're tired of being played, if you're tired of people not respecting you, if you resent that people don't take you seriously, if people just see you as a sex object, if you feel like people are always playing you, I would highly recommend you check out this course called Nice Girl. I rarely put out courses, and every one of my courses is a specific purpose. Psychological game of attraction was for single people. Natural chemistry was for women in relationships. This course is for specific nice girls. Now, most of you guys are nice. Most of you guys have great hearts. Unfortunately, men take advantage of you. So I have this limited time course. Specifically, you guys can only buy it and get access to it July and November. Now, if you purchase it in July or November, you could have access to it all year round. But you could only purchase it July and November. So this month only, you guys can purchase this course. It's only for a limited time, right? So in this course, you're pretty much going to learn about how to set boundaries, how to project a powerful presence, how to create healthy boundaries, how to communicate yourself in an assertive way, how to not let people take advantage of you. Like, you're gonna learn the art of how to identify those who are trying to take advantage of you, how to assert yourself, signs of weakness, signs of strength, and how to communicate signs of strength, and how to lower the signs of weakness. All of these things, I can promise you, ladies and gentlemen, look, okay? If you just do what this course says, just doing what this course says is gonna improve not only your dating life, but your professional life, your personal life, your social life with your friends and family, because people will always try to test you. People will always see whether or not they can take advantage of you, even a fucking child. So by purchasing this course, you could create a healthy immune system. There are 3 types of immune system. There is your body's immune system. There is an emotional immune system that you increase through meditation. And then there's a social immune system that is through self-assertion. Okay, so this course will help you build that social immune system to push away certain behaviors from your life and certain people, and by default you attract the right people. So check out that course. One, it's not okay. Look, I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's not gonna fix the problems 100%. I'm not here to lie to you guys. I'm here to give you a realistic expectation. Okay, it's not gonna completely change your life from day to night. But if you do what the videos say. Okay, if you're 20%, if you're at a 20% in terms of assertiveness, by finishing this course, you could go through it 40%. Now, you guys might say, where are the evidence for it? In my life only. Okay, and through people's experience through applying these methods, and through doing research about what actually helps assertiveness. Okay, so I thoroughly researched this course. I put a lot of thought into it. It's not complete. Next month, I'm going to add another part, which if you buy it now, you're going to have access to it. Okay, so I'll see you guys inside that course, and stay toxic, my friends. Purchase it now, or I'm closing the channel. Okay, see you guys inside.